Yeah, hi all, this is Ash from ProPunting. As we've now completed the final modifications to our program, we thought we would do a series of videos on the general layout and workings of the program. For those new to ProPunting Live and what is the program, it's a piece of software that's importing a live data feed from the TAB and tracking where the money's being bet. Just this video's general layout. Up the top we have our some links to a help file, to our website. Contact us. Also visit us on Facebook. The next column down we have our timer, which we can stop the live data feed into the program. We have a history tab, a visual tab, our betting calculator, and a configuration tab. Next down on the left we have our race venues for today, 31st of March. We can see we have Rockhampton race 1 selected at the moment, but each race venue can be expanded to view the races at that particular venue. The software will monitor horse racing, harness racing, greyhound racing, and we have our overseas racing listed at the bottom. So in the main screen, as I said, we have Rockhampton Race 1. We have some details regarding Race 1. It's a 2-year-old maiden handicap, over 1,050 metres. It's on a good 4 track. Current win pool is $221. Place pool. We have 2 hours 58 minutes before jump time. In the window below, we have the listed horses to run Race 1. We have our current win odds, current fixed odds. We have some 5-minute win odds, 15-minute fixed odds, and 15-minute win odds shown. These odds are calculated by the program and they're set as a baseline for the program to work to. And depending on what fluctuations for money coming into the market, we'll get a percentage movement in each column, and that's reflective from these baseline figures that the program sets compared to the actual price, current price of win odds and fixed odds. Up the top we have a configuration tab. We have our time zone adjustments that we'll adjust depending on which time zone you currently live in, so that all the race times line up correctly with your time. We have an emailing option where you can send yourself an email to say that we have a betting horse. We also have an alerts option which will sound a desktop alert if there is a betting horse. Next to the configuration tab we have our betting calculator. It's a very handy tool, and we'll discuss the workings of this in a later video. You simply enter your details of the horse you're going to have a bet on, its current odds, and the calculator will automatically calculate the stake depending on your risk percent and starting bank. Yeah, very handy tool to have this one, and as I said, we'll discuss this in detail in another video. Next to the betting calculator we have our visual. This is basically a horse visual showing the order that the money is coming into the market on each horse. As this race gets closer to jump time, we'll see quite significant moves in this order of movement visual. Very handy tool to gauge which horse has been getting good support. Next to the order of movement, that's the visual again, we have our history tab. Our history tab is basically tracking the 5-minute win odds. You can see here horse number 1, $2.30, horse number 1, $2.30. So each 1 minute it will track the 5-minute win odds in this window. If we get any significant moves by more than 25%, the price will be highlighted in a green colour, just to alert us that there's been a movement, quite a substantial movement on a horse. So that's the WinHod history. So this video is just a general layout discussion on bits of the program. In the next series of videos, we'll talk about setting up the configuration. We'll run through the bedding calculator in depth. We'll have a talk about how the program sets these 5-minute win odds and fixed odds columns. We'll also do a video on some live betting, and hopefully this afternoon we can get that one put together to show you the program in action in a live environment. So hopefully you enjoyed this general layout video, and look out for the next lot of videos. Thank you.